Hi everyone, it's Krista and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not new, then hi again. So this is my channel. I love doing everything DIY. I love any type of crafting. I love doing wreaths. I love doing thrift flips. I love making beautiful things from items from the Dollar Tree. So if you like what you see, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Just hit that red subscribe button and also leave me a like and a comment. I love to hear what you guys think. Now today is a Christmas collaboration. It's Christmas in July with these lovely ladies. Once again, we got together last month and now we are together again this month. More of that in a bit, but first let's start off with DIY number 1. Now, like I said, these are all going to be about Christmas in July. So I have this tin left over from last year that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use some of these picks that I had left and also these little miniatures that I got at Christmas time from the Dollar Tree, that little Christmas tree, and some scrapbook paper. So first what I did is I took the top of that tin off and I'm just tracing that on my paper. I flipped it upside down and traced it because that is going to fit in there perfectly. Also, I forgot to show you that I'm using one of these little mops that you could get at the Dollar Tree as well. And I actually used a piece of this last year to use as snow. And that's what we're going to do with this one as well. So it's going to fit in there perfectly. And I'm also going to use some of these LED fairy lights that you can also pick up at the Dollar Tree. They usually have them in the springtime or summertime in their floral section. So first what I did is I went in with some guave paint, and that was the chalk paint by Waverly. And I painted the sides and the top. I didn't need to paint the bottom of my box because you're not going to see that. So what I'm doing next is I'm going to put a hole in the back of this tin by using this really sharp tool that my husband had and a hammer. And I just pinched a hole in it with it. And then I'm just going to feed the fairy lights through that little hole. Just be careful not to cut yourself because the tin can be very sharp on the edges. Once I feed that whole thing through, what I'm going to do is there is a little rim on the inside of these little window tins, and what I did is I took some of my glue dots, and I love using my glue dots because they're really easy for adhesive when you can't use your hot glue gun, because obviously it would melt the wire and then the lights wouldn't work. So there it is, all glued on the inside with the hot glue with the glue dots in the inside of my tin. And now what I did is I'm going to fasten it to the back of my tin by using a little twist tie, black twist tie that I had. I just tied the excess in the back of the wire, and then I'm also going to fasten the little battery pack back there as well with some of these little fasteners that I also got at the Dollar Tree. So everything is really from the Dollar Tree except for the scrapbook paper. And the scrapbook paper I actually already had because I did scrapbooking at one point, and I still do scrapbooking, but not on camera anymore. And I used a piece of that I had. So now I'm also going to put glue dots on the back of my scrapbook paper as well, because it's just going to be easier than me trying to Mod Podge and all that. So it's just much faster to fasten it with some of the glue dots. So that's what I did there, and then I just pushed it down to make sure it was all in there nice and tight. Now next I'm going to take my hot glue gun and very carefully, to make sure that I don't hit any of that wiring that my lights are on, because you will melt it, to glue down my little bit of snow there. Next, I wanted to decorate the little trees that you get. Now the trees, I got these at the Dollar Tree as well, and I wanted to put little ornaments on them, so I'm using some of my glitter glue, and it's red. And if you just take it and put little dots all over the tree, it looks like it has little ornaments on it or little berries. And I thought that would be really cute. So that's what I did. Now that did take a long time to dry, that glue. Just heads up on that one. But then I took some of these little figurines that you could get at the Dollar Tree. I'm hoping they're going to have them this year as well. and you can place them inside and make like a little snowy scene. So I used the snowman, the Santa, and a little park bench and a little lamppost. And there is the light all lit up. Look how cute that is, you guys. I love these little shadow boxes. So now next, I came in and I wanted to like get some 3D snowflakes in there instead of them being so flat from the scrapbook paper. So I had some of these little stickers, little foam stickers, and I thought they were really pretty. So I decided to stick a few of these on the sides of my box so that you could still see snowflakes on the sides as well. And then I wanted to decorate the top of my box too. So what I did is I took one of these little sprigs. These all come in a package. You could get them at Hobby Lobby, any craft store, but the Dollar Tree also had them last year as well. And what I did is I wanted them to look snowy, so I cut them with my wire cutter down to size that I wanted. And now I'm just using some of my chalk paint in the color white, and I'm just kind of dry brushing it onto my branches so they look snowy. And these dry really, really quick, so no heat required. You could just dry them really quickly. And that's it for those. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them to the top of my box. And I'm going to make like a little cluster of some berries and some of these little branches. And this turns out super cute too. And it's a nice way to decorate the outside of your box. So I had this leftover berry branch that I bought last year as well. And I don't know if I got this. It was either Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or the Dollar Tree. I don't remember. But what I did is I just cut the berries off of the branch, and I just individually glued them onto my little branches that I just painted. So there you go with that. And then that's just going to get glued onto the top of my box. And I'm also going to use that little pine cone that was on the branch as well. So this turns out really super cute and super fast and super cheap. So, I mean, if you're looking for something different to do, these shadow boxes, if you find these little tins this year at the Dollar Tree, definitely pick one up because they are so much fun to decorate with. And I absolutely love them. This kind of reminds me of when I was a little child and I used to go to Niagara Falls, and we used to look inside the windows. They used to have the Festival of Lights there, it was called, and it was in Niagara Falls, Canada, and also on the American side. And they have beautiful, beautiful storefronts that you could look inside with all these animated little characters in it, and it was just so cute. And that's what these shadow boxes remind me of. They remind me of my childhood, because you really don't see these very much anymore. So, and there it is, all dressed up, and there it is with the light on. Super cute. I just love the way this turned out, you guys. So, like I was telling you, this is Christmas in July, and me and these ladies are going to be getting together every 20th of the month, and we're going to come up with different themes for you guys. So stay tuned for that. There will be one every 20th of the month. And if you're not following me on Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook, please check me out there too. I'm on those as well. It's Krista's Crafty Life. So now on to DIY number 2. So DIY number 2, I got this truck from the Dollar Tree. They just came out with these. And I also am going to use a couple of those fake trees and a popsicle stick. So this one is super simple as well. I wanted to make the bed of the truck a little bit more where I could have the trees something to glue and stick onto. So I took the popsicle stick and I just cut it down to size with my scissors. And these are just popsicle sticks that the jumbo ones that you get at Walmart in a package. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue that down to the back so that I can just place those trees in there real nice and snug, and they won't go anywhere. Because there was a little bit of an opening, and I just didn't want them to be falling through. So now I'm using my Crimson by Waverly. This is chalk paint. that I get at Walmart. And I'm using the crimson. This is super red, and I absolutely love this color. And I'm just going to do the old-fashioned red chalk because it is Christmas time that I'm doing this for. So it's perfect. So what I did is I painted everything on this truck with the red chalk paint. I painted the bumper, the fender, everything, and except for the tires, of course. And now I'm going to take these small popsicle sticks that I have. They're really tiny, just regular size popsicle sticks. And I'm going to paint them with the Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm just using a paintbrush to do this. And then I just wipe it with my... Once I leave it on there for a little bit, I just kind of rub my my paper towel over it just to wipe off the excess. And it just kind of leaves this really cool stain. And I'm just going to make this little back to my truck. I wanted it to have that little picket fence look on the back of the truck so that it looks like the real truck with the actual trees on the back. And it gives the truck a little bit more detail and makes it look super nice. So what I did is I just made a little fence with them, and with my little glue gun, I'm just gluing those on. And I did cut them in half with my I never say this right, with my shears. And they cut really good. And I will leave a link down below in my description box so you guys can get those if you like. I just got mine on Amazon, and they cut really well through a lot of things. So what I did is I put that all together with my hot glue gun, and now I'm just going to glue it to the back of my truck. And once I get those glued on, then I came in with my paint markers. These are not Arteza. These are a different paint marker. I believe it's Graffiti. And I really like these paint markers. I will leave a link down below as well for these too if you are interested in getting them. I'm not affiliated with any of these. I just use Amazon for a lot of my crafts that I purchase. And if I like the way they work, I let you guys know so you could check them out for yourselves, because I usually get them at a really good deal. I always look for bargains. So if I could get a bargain, I want you guys to get it too. So what I did is I did it with the black chalk paint marker, and I just painted them with that, my little tires. And then I had one of these package of wreaths, and I believe I got these at the Dollar Tree as well. And what I did is I glued down my little trees in the back. I was going to use 3, but I ended up only fitting in 2. And I glued them to the back. And these had a little base on the bottom of them, and I kept it on because it was just easier for me to glue them in. And then I took the little wreath and I glued it on the door. I thought it would be really cute to put that on the side door, just to kind of dress it up a little bit. And then once I get that done, what I did is I also am going to come in with this little Santa figurine that I had. I just found this in my stash. Don't know where I got it. It was probably Hobby Lobby though. And I stuck little Santa like he's driving the truck. And that's it for that DIY. So next we're on to DIY number 3. And don't forget to let me know which of these you like the best, guys, in the comments down below. So this one I'm using a mason jar that was from Christmas last year at the Dollar Tree. One of these little truck ornaments that was from Walmart, that little light that you just saw that turns different colors, that's from the Dollar Tree, some ribbon. And I'm just going to take that wood veneer right off of there because we're not going to need it. And I'm going to just stick the truck in there. It already had the snow inside, the fake snow, so it was perfect. And this was last year at the Dollar Tree. I got one of these tins. I'm sure you guys probably remember if you've been to the Dollar Tree. And then there's these little lights, and these little tea lights turn different colors, and I think they are super, super cool. And they're all the Christmas colors, so I thought this would be perfect to stick on the inside of the bottom part of my tin. So when you put it on, you're not going to be able to see that tea light sticking out. So what I did is I just stuck it on the inside of it, and I used my little Velcro fasteners from the Dollar Tree to stick it on, but I mean, you could just glue it on if you want to. And then I used my decorative ribbon, burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I have like a whole bunch of this. I stocked up on it, guys, because who knows when it's going to go away, right? So then I went in and I just cut some branches that I had left over from last year with this big pine cone on it. And I stuck that on the top just to make it look really decorative and super cute. And then I stuck some of these berries in as well. So I'm just cutting them apart with my wire cutters. And I got this pick from the Dollar Tree. And it's just leftover bits and pieces that I just keep. I never throw anything out because I know the following year I'll end up using it. And it's just less you have to buy the following year too. So that's another nice way to save. And then I just glued some of those berries on. So now I'm also going to cut one of these little branches down again. And I'm going to stick these in there. And I believe I cut 4 of them or 3 of them. I can't remember. And then what I did is I did the same thing as in my other DIY. I just took some of that white chalk paint and I just kind of dry brushed it on the branches to make them look snowy. And then what I did is I just glued them in to the top there near my little berries and just kind of made it look really, you know, Christmassy. And I mean, you could do any type of look you want. This is just what I did, but this is just supposed to give you guys inspiration to kind of, you know, do your own thing. And then once I get these all glued down, that's really it for this DIY. So I didn't glue the truck down because I'm not going to be moving it around much. It's just going to sit on my counter. So, but I mean, you can glue it down if you'd like to. And then what I did is I turned on the light so you guys could see. And there it is, all pretty, turning different colors. I absolutely love that one too. And now this is our last and final DIY. This is DIY number 4. This one's super easy too and super cheap to do. So I got all these little My Little Christmas from Hobby Lobby, and this tree was actually $1. And these were very cheap as well because I got them when they were like 50% off, I believe. And this is a little gumdrop garland. I'm going to make a little candy tree. So I'm going to use this little gumdrop garland, and these My Little Christmas things are so adorable because you can just use them on anything. And they're great because they're miniature, so you can make ornaments with them. I mean, you don't just have to decorate a tree with them. So these were perfect to use on this little 3D tree that I had here. And it's just a wood tree, and I think I got the wood tree though. I don't think I got it at Hobby Lobby. I think I got it at Michael's, but it was only $1. So this was super cute to put together. And all I did is I just kept bringing it around and wrapping it around just like garland on a regular tree. And I just glued it in certain spots so that it wouldn't fall. And it was kind of hard to get the glue to stick though with this gumdrop garland because it had this powdery substance on it to make it look gummy. And yeah, I had a hard time. But it did stay stuck. I just had to have a little bit more patience. And then I took some of these little suckers and I glued those on as my little ornaments on the tree. And then I'm also going to use those little candies that are wrapped inside little wrappers. And I'm going to stick those on the tree as well. This was super simple, but yet so whimsical and cute. I mean, you could have your kids help you do this. I mean, except for the hot glue part, okay? Use some other kind of glue. But yeah, I mean, kids would get a kick out of this. They would absolutely love having fun with this. But I mean, they could make their own little trees using regular glue too. And then, like I said, I went in with these little wrapped candies. And these were so cute too to put on here. And it just turned out really super simple. And I'm thinking about like getting more of this kind of stuff this year and making like my own little like candy, like gingerbread house type of looking village. Something different this year I want to try out. So stay tuned for that. And I'm just going to keep gluing them on. And then these little stars, these were like supposed to be like little star ornaments. And I used one of these for the top of my tree. So I just took it and I just stuck it in there, kind of like in between the little grooves, and it just kind of stuck in there really nicely. And yeah, and that was really it for this DIY. So I hope you guys like all of these. And like I said, check out the other ladies. The playlist is down below. And I will see you guys again soon. And remember, stay crafty. Bye.